Well. I went straight to live instead of my little intro. So, I
So
guess you
hey
guys
guys.
have to deal with us without that little intro. I did it different this time and I wasn't even paying attention. So, here we are, guys. Like, I'm hoping that you enjoy tonight. Are you seeing too much of us yet? What are you looking at? Oh,
I
I know what you're looking
yeah.
up. Yeah, yeah. I need to take a drink, guys. Did Max just fart? That's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
If we smell that, Max, I'm not gonna be happy. Um, let's see what. Linda, you're always on top of it. You're always yeah. I like. I normally what I do is I have us like off stage. I put that little countdown thing, and then I click us on, and I'll tell you about that later. And I got and I forgot to do that, so I look up and they're like, "Oh shit, we're already on." So that's just the way it is. Okay, so I normally start with the weather. We got up into the 30s today, so guys, it's feeling like a heat wave here. Like when we were in the teens and single digits and sub zero temps, that was like and normally we'll just get in those temperatures for a couple of days and we'll get back to normal temperatures. This time we stayed in it and it just seemed like we were never going to get out of it. um, Finally we did. We actually hit in the 30s today. Right now they said it's 26 degrees and it feels like 26, so that must mean we have no wind whatsoever out there, which is great. We're supposed to remain this way up until Friday. We're supposed to get some snow again. Now, I don't know. They were keeping an eye on another storm, but I don't know. I know south of us in the Carolinas, they were getting hit. Georgia got hit. Um, then Saturday and Sunday, we're supposed to go back down into the deep freeze again. And then starting Monday, we're going to go back up into the 30s again. And I guess it's supposed to stay pretty leveled off at that for at least the next week or two. So, Punksy, you're wrong. You be wrong, you little hog. I see death threats after poor old Bill, and everybody's just saying, hey, get rid of that hog. And
Did you see that video that I sent you last night?
with what?
It's like Punxsutawney isn't the only one that predicts the weather.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Isn't that weird?
I knew that there was other areas that had things similar to Phil, but what makes Phil right now on the top is Gobbler's Knob and Punxsutawney Phil are the ones that people from all around, even out of the country, they'll literally camp out the night before in sub-zero temperatures and blizzard-like conditions to
Yeah, but
see
the
old
weird
Phil.
the weird thing is the video that I sent you, he wasn't even on the top 5.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why they. I don't know. Hi, Cactus. So tonight is going to be story time. Now, what I'm probably going to do is, um, I added a lot onto it. I'm just hoping that I can read my printing because I have a habit of when I'm thinking and writing, I write real fast. And then when I look at them, they're like, what is that word? What did I just say? Like, so I'm hoping that I can translate it. And then after this is over, depending on how long it takes, because I added a lot. And I hope you guys like it. I might. I have a little thing that I got off of Chat GPT about the Jersey Devil. It's like a little intro and a little story as a prelude to when we do the Jersey Devil. Now, Jersey Devil will probably be on Thursday, um, or La Llorona, or both, depending on how much research I can find on those. I know when I looked up La Llorona, I found a ton of info on it. So
Well, it's because there's like millions of stories that It could be.
What did they say it was tied in with? La Llorona was tied in with
Conjuring.
The Conjuring. Yeah. I forgot all about that. So it might be quite interesting. So let me take a drink and wet my whistle, and we will start.
And yes, I am eating because I forgot to eat supper.
And guess whose freezer she raided, Linda?
I didn't rate it. I asked.
She did. She normally asks. I don't.
She's
think.
Lucky I asked because I was starting to feel lightheaded and a little bit dizzy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that I remember you ever just going in and helping yourself. Well, when you actually
you have like snacks,
yeah,
maybe.
But
most of the time,
I'm gonna sneeze. So apparently, I was looking on our little Germany packet that we had last night. Excuse me. If we would have got the bigger packet, part of the bigger packet, they had, I guess, I think it was the packet, they had like watermelon cookies. I'm going to sneeze again. I always sneeze several times, so guys, I apologize. They had a drink in there, apparently, and I was watching this older gentleman, and it was either his grandson or son, and I think the daughter or something, and they were doing a universal yums, and they come to that drink, and the guy, the older gentleman, goes, "Oh, that was bad. That was really bad." So I think we hit the mother load last night with what we tried, and we lucked out because I'm telling you, that was a phenomenal package last night. But I don't know. We'll see what happens next month with the Poland one. I think Poland will be good. I think Poland will be good. So they did have, I think, in that one too, mustard chips. One of them has mustard chips in it.
Ew.
So I don't know, but
that's disgusting.
Okay, so are you guys ready for the story? And I guess you guys wanted me to start all over from the beginning too, right? Yesterday it was like pretty much 2 thumbs up all along, and I can't really include that extra bag of chocolates in the thumbs up in that because I gave the 1, 2 sideways, but that wasn't part of Germany. That was from around the world. So, but now this story here.
Here's the French one.
As you know, I told you I had started it once before, and then I revised it. Now, considering that I just wrote the second half of it, knowing me, something is going to hit me in it, or I'm going to say, "Hey, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense," or you guys can call it out. I take criticism and go back and revise it the second half. But this will be the rough copy, and then I will end up printing it out. So, because right now, like I said, you're going to have to excuse me if I can't read it real well because it is all printed and it's not very good print. So, and I'm a better printer than what, if you've seen this, what it looks like. So, but okay, the story was called The Adventure of Chippewa Isle, but you can just call it Chippewa Isle if you want. But we don't need to be picky. Gabriella, if she wants to make sound effects, she can, as long as her mouth's not full of ummies. So let's begin. After quite a long hiatus because of unforeseen circumstances, winter, holidays, and illnesses, Lurking Spirits Paranormal announced their return. Woot woot, way to go. It never had been an easy journey securing great places to investigate, unlike other teams, but somehow Lurking Spirits always managed to come up with something. They have always managed to find places that no others seem to have investigated, and it was always made their experiences quite satisfying. As our team was seeking something new and something amazing, Dylan was always there trying to help. Even though he didn't investigate, he did participate in any way that he could to help. One day after work, I heard Mama, as he always called me, and there stood Dylan. He had a big smile on his face. He said to me, I may have found you a great place to investigate. He proceeded to tell me about how his coworker knew of this small island within the lakes, about 3.5 hours away from the island. Knew this small, yeah, about about 3 to 3.5 hours away from us. The island is not known by many, but those who have heard of it tell us of an urban legend slash myth that surrounds it, the legend of Chippewa Isle. It's quite interesting and goes along with one of the shows that Gabriella and myself talks about on our channel. The story goes that one day a young man who was out sailing ran across this small island hidden in between the rocky ledges of the lake. As he passed this area, he slowed his ship down as he was curious upon seeing it. The strangest thing about this island was that the waters were calm and the winds were mild, but as he approached closer to the isle, the waves clashed hard against the rocks and the winds picked up suddenly. Then they stopped immediately, almost as quickly as they begun. Very strange indeed. Then he heard what he thought was a humming sound, but he dismissed it. Though, as he figured out, it was just wind blowing through the jagged rocks. But then the humming picked up again, this time louder and almost as if it contained a tune. He swore he could hear whispers and faint voices. His mind went numb. He was confused. Wind could mimic hums, but the echoing sounds of whispers and voices, he could not explain that. Even though he was becoming slightly uneasy, his curiosity got the best of him, and he decided to sail even closer. He looked ahead and thought he saw some figures on the island near where he could hear the voices. It must just be his imagination just playing games with him. He moved his boat even closer to check out the situation. This time, the sounds grew louder, and he swore he heard his own name being sung in a very soft melodic tone, calling out to him. This is insane, he thought. This island is abandoned. I bet not many people even realize it's here, as it's somehow hidden in between the rocky ledge. But then he thought, if I came across this, maybe someone else did too. But where's their ship? Did they wreck among the jagged rocks? Do they need help? How long have they been stranded here? I better check this out and seek help if they're in trouble. But then, why am I hearing my name being called out in a musical tone? Too many questions. My mind is going wild, but I must find out. He checked out the shoreline to see if there would be a safe place, secure and safe place to dock his vessel. Boy, my reading is horrible tonight. He found a section where the rocks weren't as jaggy and the waves weren't as treacherous, and he pulled the boat up alongside. The voices seemed more distant now, but he could still hear that slight humming from afar. He stopped the engine on the boat and threw down the anchor. It was now time to explore the island and assess the situation. As he stepped onto the shoreline, he started to feel uneasy. A strange feeling overcame him. He couldn't explain. He began to feel dizzy, and thoughts of dread overwhelmed him. He stood still for a few minutes, recomposed himself, and set off on his little journey. His first thought was to go in the direction of where he first heard the humming and where he thought he saw those figures. He heard some rustling in the bushes. He called out if anyone was there and asked if they were in trouble and needed help. No one answered, but the voices in that humming, it began again. This time even louder. He moved closer. His name began being called out again. This time clearer and almost in a chanting type rhythmic song.
I don't know what his name was.
I don't either. Nobody does.
Charlie!
You! Hey, you! Hey, you.
I'm going to call him Charlie.
The hairs behind his neck stood up. What's going on? He walked at a slower pace, observing every inch of land all around him, not knowing what to expect. The chanting turned into a song and grew even louder.
Charlie, coming through the water.
He took a few more steps and could not believe what he saw in front of him. 2 women were standing there. Their beauty was captivating, and their harmonic song put them into a trance-like state. He froze solid in his tracks. He wanted to run, but yet he also wanted to stay. He was confused. He was cast almost into a spell by these women. They brought out all of his deepest secrets and showed him things he could not resist. They used him and they took control of him. They got what they wanted from him, his life. No one knows what happened to this young sailor. His body was never found, but his ship was discovered where he docked it. The only sign of him was a recording he had left of what he was hearing before he decided to check out the island. No one will probably ever find out the true story of the adventure, but over time, speculations of what had happened to transpire and the legend began. Over the course of years, researchers found other stories about this island and the story of sirens who lured sailors to them with their enchanting voices and songs and brought them to their demise. Claims of bones and shipwrecked vessels were told but no proof or evidence ever came about involving this sailor or any of the others. Lurking Spirits was excited about this. After all, we were skeptical of many of these type of legends, but if bones were found there, then there must be paranormal activity there. We told Dylan to get the info we needed for the trip to go there, and the team would gather together and discuss how we would go about this new adventure.
You said his name and he texted me.
Oh, really? Dun, dun, dun. This would be quite different than our normal investigations, but it would be new and exciting and a great way to reboot our channel. We were looking forward to this. Dylan talked to the co-worker, and he needed to talk to the gentleman named Alex. Alex was the person who owned the boat, and he kept it docked at a private place only a few hours away from Chippewa Isle. Alex was hoping to find a crew to check out the island, as he has always been curious about it himself, but never went there. He was very thrilled when we contacted him. We worked out a time and date, and we were ready for a day/night to remember for the rest of our lives. Our crew was going to be Alex, captain of the ship, of course, our team, Chase, Abby, Gabriella, Eric, myself. Dylan also decided he wanted to join this time, and that because of all the craziness within the paranormal community and accusations of fakery and such, we offered a few others to join us as fellow investigators and witnesses. We would be joined by Cactus, Douglas, B Squared, and of course, Linda. Everyone was pumped up about this trip. We made a list of supplies we needed or wanted to take with us, and plenty of batteries and SD cards. We did not want to miss anything. Since the legend of the island was sirens, I purchased a bird listening device with a long-range amplification to detect sounds at a further distance. Even though I was still skeptical of the myth, I wanted to have something I felt would capture the sounds at a good distance prior to arriving at the island. It was bright and very early on a Saturday morning, and everyone met at our house. We had a long drive ahead of us to the port, and then another long sail from the dock to the island. One essential item I wanted to make sure everyone had was a pair of headsets and their phone or something they could keep them distracted by, just in case. It was very strange because as I was talking to everyone about this in particular, I almost felt like we were getting ready to be in an episode of Stranger Things, and we needed our headphones and music to stay safe from Vecna. I chuckled to myself as this thought and image went through my head. Our crew brought our normal gear, plus some odds and ends like bells, balls, even a few music boxes as a lure. Everyone was well supplied with their EVP recorders, camera, and their own little gems. Since we would not be able to stop and eat anywhere, we packed plenty of food and drinks to keep us nourished and made little snack bags up for once we got onto the island. Finally, we were off and on our way. We met Alex at the port around 10 a.m. He was already on the boat and was doing the final preparations and pre-trip checklist. Everyone introduced themselves to him, and we boarded the ship and was on our way. I, for one, was not fond of being on a boat, and I know Eric isn't either, so we were quite nervous, but kept our minds on what we may encounter ahead of us. The trip from the dock to the island was only about an hour and a half away. We would arrive there by noon. We would find a place to stop along the shore, have our lunch before we would go ashore. I didn't want anyone to pass out for not having any food. When we were about 10 minutes from the island, Alex announced that we would be nearing the shoreline. I told someone to pick up their Bird EVP amplifier and see if they could hear anything. Linda volunteered immediately and with enthusiasm. She placed the headphones on and listened carefully. We were amazed at how well it worked. She said she could hear the birds chirping on the island and could even hear the slight sound of the waves clashing against the shore. She heard nothing unusual. As we got nearer to the island, we noticed an area where the rocks were more jagged along the shore than the rest of the shoreline. It was strange because even the waves seemed to clash harder against the rocks there, and the wind seemed much stronger than the remainder of the shoreline. Odd. Maybe this is exactly the place where the legend happened. Alex steered the boat to a smoother area where he could easily anchor the boat and we could stop, enjoy lunch, and be off on our adventure. We had no experience of strange whispers or humming at this point. We started to believe that what we were going to experience on this trip would be strictly spiritual, ghostly, if even that. And we were still thrilled to be here, though. We enjoyed our lunch, shared a few stories and laughs, and then all of us, one by one, exited the boat, gear in hand. Alex remained on the boat and was going to do some recording from there and would most likely join us later. We thought it would be a great idea to split up, but in teams to explore the island. Abby, Gabriella, Linda, Cactus, B Squared joined me. Chase, Dylan, Eric were teamed up with Douglas. If at any time, though, someone wanted to switch up, we agreed that that would be fine, and we wanted no one to ever go anywhere on the island alone, though. The men took off to the left. Now, I think, was that where I left off the last time? Do you remember?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's where I said to be continued. The men took off to the left in the direction of the jagged rocks where we thought the legend may have started. Our women team went straight ahead. Since we were in bright daylight, our first goal was just to place cameras and equipment in areas where it looked interesting and a good location that may have possible activity. The guys approached the area near the jagged rocks slowly and cautiously. The first thing that they noticed was there were no sounds at all, only of the waves clashing against the rocks and of the wind, which picked up, rolling through the air. Odd. No birds singing, no normal sounds like you would hear in a wooded area. Very strange indeed. They found an open spot with a nice view of the rocky shoreline and set a camera up there. They stood silently for a few moments and listened closely for anything unusual. Chase told the guys that he wanted to go to the area deeper to investigate. Dylan, Eric, and Douglas told him it was not a good idea. Chase, being as curious as he is, moved forward deeper through the open area and into the wooded section across from it and disappeared out of sight. The guys did not like this, so they headed in that direction too, slowly, but at a quick enough pace to be not too far from behind. Running, footsteps, rustling, trees, and then Chase pushing past them saying, "We need to get out of here, now." His breathing was heavy and his face was pale white. The guys stopped him and asked what had happened. Chase, short of breath at this time and still quite razzled, answered, "There's something over there. Something not good." He began to tell them that first he heard brush and twigs moving, an icy cold breeze passed straight through him, and then he could hardly speak. He said he saw something, not sure what it was, but this feeling suddenly overcame him, one of being in great danger and the intense feeling of dread and death. He said he reached for his headphone for distraction, but luckily was able to turn and run away from the danger. He was clearly shaken and frightened to death. They decided to head back to check on the ladies. The short walk seemed like an eternity. The guys were very concerned now at Chase's state of mind. He became almost in a trance-like state condition. His face was pale white, almost ghostly. Something definitely frightened him nearly to death. The men finally met the ladies. They were sitting on the ground discussing what their plans were going to be for the evening and listening to Gabriella. They just came back from setting up cameras and were laying down some equipment. And Gabriella's telling us about her uneasiness with the island and had an awful feeling that something very bad was going to happen. As she was talking to us, we noticed the guys approach us, guiding Chase towards us, step by step, arm in arm. He looked like a zombie and would not respond to anyone, not even Abby. Dylan carefully set Chase down, and we tried to bring him back to whatever spell or trance he had fallen into. Abby's voice finally broke through. He was clearly very shaken. Abby questioned him, and he stated that he could not remember anything. Dylan, Eric, and Douglas told us that none of them saw or heard anything when Chase wandered off by himself. The interesting thing about the entire incident was that Chase wasn't gone for more than a few minutes when the other guys caught up with him, and by that time something had already encountered Chase and had that horrible effect on him. What did he see? What could be so terrifying to put him in such a trance-like condition? We were all shaken, but very curious at the same time. Could the legend of the island be true? Nah, we're just overthinking things. He probably went into a bear or some other wild animal and may nearly have been attacked. That would have frightened someone that horribly, right? There had to be some logical explanation, but then again, Gabriella's feeling is something being off, of us being in possibly dangerous situation. Her feelings have always been right. Eric remembered that the guys placed a camera in the location where they had just returned from. Maybe the camera caught what happened. They must go back and check the footage. No! Definitely not, shouted Gabriella. Don't you see the condition Chase is in when you returned? Something isn't right here. I don't think coming here was a very good idea. Not at all. Regardless, shouted Dylan, we have to go back and retrieve the camera. I'm sure you don't want it left behind. Plus, It could have something on it that could explain this craziness. The guys had to go back, without Chase, of course. Gabriella shrieked in fear and hesitance for the guys to return. I myself got that same thought running through my mind of imminent danger and dread, but we have to get our camera. Maybe it did have the answer on it, despite the answer on it we so desperately wanted. Gabriella, Abby, and Chase would remain. Douglas wanted to make sure they were safe too, so he volunteered to stay with the three of them while the rest of us decided to go back. We were all very hesitant and trotted carefully in the direction of the jagged rocks. Hi, Ronan.
Ronan's here.
Ronan, woo-hoo. Dylan led the group. I was directly behind him. I told Linda and B Squared to pull out their EVP recorders and to turn them on as soon as we reached the opening right before the area where Chase wandered off to by himself. We were also to make sure we were equipped with our headphones and music, just in case we heard singing, voices, or humming. The EVP recorders would record the sounds as evidence, but we could not place ourselves in any more danger just in case the myths were indeed true. Slowly, at a turtle's pace, we carefully approached the open area. Directly across the wooded area Chase came running from, I told everyone to put their headphones on and told Linda and B Squared to start recording. Cactus immediately pulled out her camera and started filming in hopes she could capture something. We wanted to make sure we stayed safe and well prepared, just in case. As we got closer to the wooded area where Chase had his encounter, Cactus noticed something on her camera. Some movement in the bushes. She motioned to us to be extra cautious. She became very nervous and went to me to tell her of her concerns. I took off my headphones and that feeling of uneasiness that Gabriella talked about overwhelmed me. Dylan, Eric, and the rest of the gang all removed their headphones to find out what was happening. As Cactus explained what she saw on her camera, loud singing, almost chanting, started. Voices calling each of our names in unison could be heard. They echoed from the wooded area as the sounds of twigs snapping and bushes moving intensified. The chants and songs echoed loudly in our ears. We could not move. What is happening here? We couldn't speak. We did not have the ability to place headphones back on over our ears. It's like we didn't want to. We were entranced by the mysterious rhythmic sounds. Each one of us got emotional. The voices chanting our names made us feel welcome. We were finally able to move, but instead of running, we approached the wooded area freely and wantingly. Behind the trees was the tip of the jagged rocky shoreline. Standing on top of the rocks were the figures we heard in the tale. There was a group of them, all calling our names and singing the most beautiful enchanted tune we ever heard. We were home. We were comfortable. Our most precious memories were shown to us, and we felt safe, welcomed. We had no idea that we were caught, trapped, facing our doom. Gabriella kept feeling uneasy. Douglas tried over and over to convince her that everyone would be safe and that we would be returning soon. Abby kept trying to get answers from Chase, but he still had no recollection of his encounter. Time passed by. The minutes felt like hours to the four of them. Gabriella paced back and forth. Douglas and Abby started getting concerned. We should have been returned by now. Too much time passed. They only went to retrieve a camera. Something's wrong. Now Abby felt what Gabriella had been experiencing all along. We have to go for them, Abby said. Douglas and Gabriella, almost in unison, said that they must go and get them, gather our things, and leave this island immediately. Abby was still concerned about Chase and his condition, so they decided to take Chase back to the boat and then go get the rest of the team and leave. Alex met the four of them, helped Chase onto the boat, and asked what happened. Douglas filled them in quickly, but stated how they must get back and find the rest of the crew, and we needed to get away as quickly as we could. Abby wanted to stay with Chase, but she was also concerned about me. So she left Chase with Alex and went with Douglas and Gabriella to find everyone. The three were geared with their headphones and music, but were more concerned with finding us. Gabriella and Abby repeatedly said how things weren't right, how something was horribly wrong. The feeling of dread, death overcame them so deeply that they began sobbing. They were so afraid of what they would find. They felt the need to stop, but they kept going. The crew needed found. They prayed they would be safe and that they themselves would remain safe. Wiping away their tears and moving ever so slowly, they neared the open area the guys first encountered. They noticed the same things that the guys did the first time that they went there. Total silence. Nothing could be heard, not even the sounds of leaves moving in the wind. As a matter of fact, there wasn't even any wind blowing, but there was an icy cold chill in the air. Odd. Very odd. Their nervousness increased. Abby shrieked loudly and tapped Gabriella's shoulder and motioned to Douglas. "Oh my gosh! Look! Over there!" As she pointed to the row of trees, Gabriella felt ill, almost like she was going to pass out. Douglas's mouth dropped, and both of the girls started sobbing harder. On the row of trees, they saw hanging each of the remaining team's headphones and cameras. They were swaying, but there was no wind. Below each piece of equipment, an initial was carved. The initials matched those of each missing person. Gabriella and Abby panicked. Douglas tried to remain calm, but this wasn't good. Not good at all. Should they stay or should they go and seek more help? Is it already too late? Gabriella passed out. Her fear and bad feelings got to her. Douglas and Abby tried to awake her, but kept their ears and eyes open for any signs of danger. As Gabriella started coming to, it started. The winds picked up. Voices chanting their names. Douglas, Gabriella, Abby. Over and over again. The singing began. That welcoming, I'm home feeling surrounded each of them. The stillness, frozen trance enveloped them. They knew what they wanted, and they got what they wanted. Gabriella, Douglas, and Abby. Alex and Chase remained on the boat. Chase was able to talk a little, but still could not remember what happened. Alex didn't question him, but sat there with a smile, an evil smile on his face. He knew what he needed to do. He convinced Chase that they needed to go search for the team and escorted him off of the boat. As they approached that area, Chase was starting to remember what happened. It was too late. Alex already knew, for he had already been there on this island. He had already encountered the creatures, and he knew what they wanted. He was one of the lucky ones who managed to escape. But how? He was able to do what the entire crew couldn't. The answer was clear. Alex made a deal with the island's residents to bring new victims in exchange for a safe return. I'm sure people would wonder what happened to Lurking Spirits Paranormal, Douglas, Cactus, Linda, be squared, Eric, but would anyone ever figure out that they were prey on a remote island? Who would believe it even if they did? Only one person knows the true story, and his name is Alex. The end. Hope you guys liked it.
That was a plot twist I was not expecting.
That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted as a plot twist. So, did you
Freaking
guys?
Alex.
Alex, yeah. Yeah. He set it up all along.
I knew he wasn't good.
Yeah. And I could still do it to be continued because I have things going in my mind about Alex too. So, dun, dun, dun. So, hope you guys liked it. Hope it wasn't too dippy. Ronan. Whoa, look at that. Ronan. It's nice to see all you guys back on here again. So, any comments, any critique, anything like that about the story?
Jack just said that was so good. OMG, I literally just cussed out Alex right now.
I gotta type it up, print it out. Like I said, I might do a little revisions on it and that, but I initially wanted to have only a couple people not making it, but then well, wait a minute. If they're going to this island and it's remote, not too many people know about it, and there's all these legends, I'm just going to kill off everybody, but I'm going to throw a plot twist in there. And that was one of the reasons why Alex didn't want to get off the ship to begin with. He said, no, I'll stay here and record, because he already knew ahead of time what his little plans was for the crew.
Freaking Alex.
So,
sketchy bitch.
Yep, he was a sketchy bitch, I'm telling you. Why did we trust a complete stranger anyhow? We went on a trip with a complete stranger.
On a boat to an abandoned island.
To the middle of nowhere, on an island. Send it to Ross Side to her magazine. You think I should?
They just said, that's fantastic.
Oh, thank you guys. I really, really appreciate that.
Oh, such a good plot twist. Great story. Loved it.
Yeah, I'll try to write some stories about some of the, like I said now, on here I did, when I first said that I wanted to do the Jersey Devil, I kind of did like a little, it's not CapCut, it's Chep. I wanted to do like a little research. I like them to write like a little intro for me, and that makes it like more exciting when I go into the story itself, if I can find that. And but like I said, I'm going to do either La Llorona and Jersey Devils, or just Jersey Devils, depending on what kind of information. I know when I looked ahead of time that I saw like a ton of stuff on La Llorona, but if I can find, there it is. So, the New Jersey, there I'm saying New Jersey again, the Jersey Devil. Let me see here. Here's the
Cactus said, I hope Alex gets double crossed in the sequel.
So do you want there to be a sequel? I when I was writing that ending and the initials thing in the tree, and I wanted Gabriella's eeriness and uneasiness of the whole thing really being amplified, because that should have been our big warning then. But Chase wouldn't have listened anyhow, because Chase is stubborn. He usually, like on our investigations, Abby gets so mad at him.
I'll literally say there's something over there and I don't like the feeling of it, and he'll be like, oh, okay.
I'll go and check it out. Yeah, that's what happened at the cemetery too. So let me see, is this? I'm trying to, let me see. Yeah, there's a lot I have here. I probably will do, I'll have you guys decide, or you probably will say for me to decide. Let me see. I'm just going to give a little. Okay, here's the Jersey Devil. Said is one of America's oldest and creepiest cryptids, and it comes straight out of the Pine Barrens of New Jersey, a place already spooky enough on its own. And it says the origin. It's called the Leeds Devil, Leeds. It says a woman known as Mother Leeds, already exhausted and poor, became pregnant with her 13th child. In frustration, she supposedly cried out, "Let this one be the devil." Bad move. According to legend, the baby was born normal, but then it began to change. Grew hooves, bat like wings, a forked tail, its face twisted into something unnatural. It let out an unholy scream. The creature allegedly flew up the chimney and disappeared into Pine Barrens, where it's said to still roam. So, with that little like prelude, I will do a ton of research on that, and I will do a bunch of research on La Llorona, and I can either do both of them on Thursday or do New Jersey on Thursday and maybe have a special edition on the weekend or save it for Tuesdays, the other side. So I'll decide, let you guys know. So let's see. Alex double cross. I do love that. Keep show on your toes. So you would love a sequel. You guys have to tell me what you want to happen to Alex. I'm pretty sure I know what you guys want to happen to Alex because he killed off the whole crew. And when Chase come back to begin with, we should have hurried up and packed up our shit and got off that island to begin with. But then again, Alex was on that boat. He probably, well, hey, that sequel, I have ideas. So the plot thickens, doesn't it?
Have it where Alex was told by the sirens that all he had to do was bring people to them, but then have them double cross him and say you didn't bring us enough people, and then take him under their spell and drag him.
That's too easy for Alex. So that's too quick and easy for. There has to be more of a. He has to get what he deserves, and that's too quick and too easy for him. I think I have an idea.
I think he found a whole bunch of.
I think I have an idea. I think I have an idea going on. Ooh, the Revenge of the Dead Crew. Now that is an idea, Linda. That is an idea.
And did we actually die, or did we get turned into more sirens?
Only the future will tell. The plot thickens. Now, and the thing with me, it's like you see me stammering on some of these because, like I said, when I start writing, and if I really get into my story, I get so many ideas coming so quickly, and I write and I write and I write and I write, and because I'm writing so quickly and not to miss a detail that I want included, sometimes I write where when I'm reading it back, it is hard for me to decipher. So I do apologize for this stammering on reading that tonight, but my eyes are also bothering me tonight too. I don't know if I've been blinking a lot or not. So let me see what she. Do something mean like those milk commercials. Give them a plate of chocolate chip cookies and brownies and a jug of milk, but the milk. Hey, if all that food that we took with us was sitting on that hot boat and there was not any refrigerator and he ate any of it on his journey back after he threw us to the wolf, so to say, he would be getting sick. And so we'll see. Thank you, Cactus. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I got a lot of ideas already running through my mind. But then again, I could always just write a whole new adventure of our encounter with a Wendigo or the skinwalker that we ran into up at Oakwood Cemetery. I could do a real good story about that probably. I mean, I could do pretty much a story on anything, and I do. I watch too many movies, I think, because I love plot twists. I really, really love plot twists, and that that's what keeps my brain. Now that's a good idea. We got this. We got the Universal Yums, and they ironically sent us another Pakistan box, and where they're like, "Okay, we know what we're going to do with this, Alex." That would have been enough to kill anybody.
Oh my lord.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. That is a good idea. Let me write that down in my book just in case I want to use that with maybe another twist. So, Revenge of the Dead Crew, huh? That could actually even be in the name of the sequel. And I put on there compliment of Linda, because anybody comes up with an idea and I use it, I'm not a thief. They will get credit for that part of the idea. So, well, I'm glad that you guys enjoy these. Like, I don't want to come on here and read these things when I write them and that, and you guys think, well, like, oh boy, that was stupid. And I'm hoping that they entertain, and like I can go in any direction too. I could do something that's a humorous story. I could go a creepy story like that. I could do a rhyming story. There's many. I could do a long poem. There's a lot of different ways that I could go with these stories. So, I mean, I did that one too about all, which is, I don't know if you can see it. I have my 27 Spirits shirt on. So, Damie and Jennifer, just by some slight chance you watch one of these videos, thank you. That's your shirt that you gave me. But I like writing like that too. I like bringing in people that are in our audience or people that we know. I like including them as long as they don't mind, and I make it exciting, and I'm glad people enjoy it. Yeah, that snack box. I'm telling you what, that Pakistan one. I like we talked last night. I think I'm trying to even. I mean, we have the papers somewhere. There was probably only 2 or 3, if you remember, in there that was just like, okay, they weren't great, but they weren't horrible. They were tolerable. Yeah. But overall,
they either had too much flavor or too little
flavor.
Yeah.
It went both directions. There was not any just, this is nice. It was like, hey, it's like eating air, or wow, that flavor's so strong, it's just overwhelming.
If I was a ghost, I would be great at stealing fridge contents.
Maybe that's my next story. Maybe I should write about the ghost of Gabriella who raids people's refrigerators.
No, I would be a bitch. You put a snack beside you, and then I'd steal it, and then make you think you're going crazy. I know I put it here. Where'd it go?
See, now that's the type of ghost I would be, especially for people that pulled shit off on me. I would be one of those that I would either drive you to insanity, I would torture the living shit out of you, or if I liked you, I'd come visit you and I would give you stuff or moves. I'd be like a little prankster or something. I'd go both ways on good ghost, bad ghost, depending on.
If I liked you and I was a ghost, I'd probably just move things around, let you know that I'm there. But if it was a person that I don't like, I would literally make you think that you've gone crazy. Like you just put a snack down there. It's mine now. Give it.
That's what we could do, Abby. I don't know how to do it because I'm not. I mean, I'm not like it's like I said before. I'm not computer stupid. I'm just not computer savvy. I think if somebody sat down and showed me all the ropes on it, I would be really good on it. I just choose not to be. But to pull up that Pakistan box and show it and have live reaction on it, our comments and stuff and that on it, because that was, yeah. We're wicked. I'm sorry. Like, what better way to get back at people? They can't say anything. They can't press charges against you or anything because you're a ghost. So you could do pretty much what you want to them and get back revenge. Like, hey,
Take a bite out of it.
Show your half of your.
Then they definitely would think that they've gone crazy. Why is there a bite taken out of my?
Does anybody on here, do you know what a Pennsylvania gob is? I think we might have talked about it once before. I'm not sure if we should. I thought still, come to think, I thought Dylan got me a gob and we showed it on here what a gob looked like. Remember the chocolate one Dylan brought me back by surprise that one day?
I think.
Didn't we show it on here?
I don't know.
Pennsylvania, every January in our Galleria Mall has a gob fest. So there's vendors in the mall that people will go out of their way for to get Pennsylvania gobs. And Abby and Chase went over this past Saturday was Gob Fest. And they went over there. They got some gobs. Abby had to get some coffee at a certain coffee place over there. And she brought me back a red velvet gob. And because red velvet is rich and these gobs they're like that big, I broke it in half and I had half myself and I gave Gabriella the other half.
If I were a ghost, I think I'd just be a tad petty and leave kitchen cabinets open because that annoys everyone, and I'd probably mostly just be going to concerts around the world as a ghost instead.
I know. I've come every time Tom goes in the kitchen, if he's getting silverware or if he's getting something and I go in the kitchen, I can guarantee, especially the silverware drawers, he doesn't leave them open the whole way, but he doesn't shut them the whole way either. He always leaves them open about 3 or 4 inches, and I'll go out and I'll see it, and I'm there like, oh, that drives me insane.
The thing that drives me nuts, what Dad does is right before, or like he'll cook something in the microwave, and then he'll take it out before it like beeps, and like many minutes before it beeps. And instead of pressing the reset button once his food is completely done, he just leaves it there. So when you have to cook, you're like, why is there already like 53 seconds on my timer and I didn't click anything?
That's a little OCD of mine too. I cannot, if somebody doesn't clear off that time on the microwave, that drives me crazy. But Linda, do you take requests? I have a couple for you to haunt too. Yeah, but what are you trying to kill me off so I can be a ghost so I can do your requests? Is that what you're trying to do? Uh-huh. Linda, I'm telling you what, she's been something else lately.
Linda
has been with this Pakistan. I'm telling you.
Anyways, this is what God looks like.
Yeah, look how thick that is. That is a red velvet, half of a gob. It is red velvety, delicious, and the cream that they put in the center of those is so good.
See, that's annoying. Not evil. We are You ate your god before you could show us.
Oh, okay.
Mom.
Well, it was good. It's like, and I'll tell you my favorite ones. Red velvet's good, but my favorite, the chocolate ones with the white cream, the chocolate ones with the peanut butter cream in the center, and the banana nut ones.
Mhm.
Oh, those are so good. Yummy, yummy, yummy. So
Those are num nums.
they were definitely num nums.
But look at how thick this bed is.
That is a PA gob. And if you've never had one before, you definitely should try.
Mm-hmm.
Ronan, back in the house. So, yeah, we'll get in, I'll work on some other items. I do know, like, thank goodness we've been on a roll here. We've been keeping our shows coming on weekly. Actually, even had a couple of the surprise days on.
We had surprise ones. We were on when we were sick.
We need to get Lurking Spirits back on. I told Abby, even if we can get some guests to be on some guest paranormal groups to be on the Lurking Spirits channel, just so we have some content on there up until we can get investigations. We are working on a Massachusetts trip. There's a couple other things that we're trying to line up. But again, it's the same old for us. It's the same thing over and over. We are living paycheck to paycheck in finances. It's just the prices that a lot of these places, they're affordable to everybody else, but they're not. Even $50 is not affordable to us, but we'll manage somehow. This, we've said it over and over and over and over again. This is going to be our year.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to make it our year. Once the weather breaks, even if we have to go to a lot of cemeteries, or I've seen a couple places that was outdoorsy, old decrepit buildings, and that you might not be able to go in the building, but at least the property around it, we will get things in. So we will be back, and we will get things going. So yeah, everybody's lurkers. Linda is the biggest lurker of them all. She's actually a stalker lurker. She was beginning as our lurker, and then she turned into our stalker. But we love her. We love her. The cemetery ones were cool. You know, I really, really, one of my favorites. I mean, we had that activity up at Oakwood, but one of my favorites, I must say, has been that little cemetery that we went to, and they were all family oriented, and they basically told us, just leave us alone. You know, we're happy. Thank you for coming and joining us, but
resting in peace.
Yep, they were resting in peace. They were okay. One of my other favorites, I did Williamston Cemetery, which was just it was actually a pretty good size, but it wasn't like Oakwood. That cemetery was downright creepy. There was things in there that really put you at unease. And I like using trigger things too. Like there was that one grave at that cemetery. They had a horse head on it, and there was a story behind what happened with the gentleman that passed there. And so I played the sound of horses galloping when we were there to see if it would stop our activity. Instead of that, we end up getting activity on the other side of the cemetery, and it turned creepy.
Yes.
We had to leave that one too. We got to the point where it got so uneasy. We said we don't want to stay.
Yeah.
So, but we've had some good places that we've investigated. So we really need to get back into that. But anybody have any questions, any suggestions, any critique? Go for it. Just shoot on out the whatever you want to say. Like I said, we're open to anything. We don't get offended. So we're we're pretty good. Cactus did have me sent me something that I'm gonna check out, and I'm gonna see what I can find on that, and maybe there's something there that I can use on a show. And also the thing that she wanted to check out, we might have that could be a possible guest on the show. So, and any of you guys, I use StreamYard on here. If any of you want to be on here to share live on one of the shows, just let me know and we'll send you the link and we'll have you join us on here. I know we were trying to get Monkey, if he has any stories from New Mexico and he wants to be live, he's more than welcome. Anybody that goes with any of you, just give us a word and we'll pull you up live on here and you can do the talking. So, but
Yeah, enough of us talking.
but again, we said all along, this format is not about us. It's about all of us. It's about us, the audience. So we want you to participate as much as what we are. And we just want to try to keep content that keeps you guys, entertained, whether good or bad. But, it's so nice to see all of you coming back show after show, even if it's at the drop of a hat. We said, hey, we're going to go live tonight. You guys show up. So it's amazing. We've got the best fans on the face of the earth. We really, really do. So, yeah, I'm so anxious to get back into investigations. I really would like for us to go somewhere now, even if it was an outside one, but until our lungs are completely healed. I'm feeling stronger each day. I still have those darn coughing spells, but the gel really did all of us in a lot. I mean, even Eric really hardly ever got sick except for like right dead smack in the winter when everybody else was getting sick. But because of us doing all those tours and that, and warm office to that icy cold gel with all the dust and mold and everything else, it really wreaked havoc on all of us. So I'm just hoping that once the nice warmer air comes, it will dry up and heal our lungs and everything, and we can be.
I know I feel like sleeping all day long.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
lately.
But like I told Eric, and I tell you, that's the best medicine. Get as much sleep as you can, because you just get so exhausted. You really, really need that sleep.
I should have taken a nap earlier, but I didn't. I was playing games with Abby.
Yeah, I was going to take a nap too, but I wanted to finish that story up, and I had so many. I was going to go in a totally different direction with it, and then I'm there. You know what? I'm all for plot twist, and I'm going to throw in something that I don't think anybody's going to expect to come out on that story. So I'm very happy that all of you guys was pleasantly surprised and that you liked the ending of that story. So even when I was on, yeah, that's the same as me, Eric, too. Like, I mean, even tonight, like my eyes are bothering me, but I get to a certain point that I feel like I can feel my eyes getting heavy and I'm getting tired, especially since I didn't lay down and take a nap today. So, let's see. Still would be interested in hearing more of your personal paranormal experience from your South Carolina house and the experiences at your current place. Y'all seem to have heaps of. I have lots of videos. The only thing is I was actually thinking of doing a full-fledged investigation here in the house. I just got so much junk around the house right now that I got to put away from Christmas yet. Just been too sick, because if I overstress myself, I start getting coughing. So I still got Christmas stuff up yet. Plus, I don't like people seeing my personal space. That house down there, it was mainly Gabriella's room, and we did tell everybody, hey, we were in the process of moving, so it looks like a clutter. but I got lots of videos from that.
The one that is the creepiest, and I hope that you can find it someday so we can show them, is when that shadow jumped over my bed and then back under it.
I think I have that. I have it.
That was terrifying.
I don't know if we can show it on here or how we would show it on here, though, but I do have it.
And that one where I think I was talking to somebody on the phone and my blanket got pulled.
Yeah. You had. I don't know if I have that one, because what happened is when I didn't save. I was in the process of saving a lot of those videos, but when we moved and our ring service got cut off because of us moving, since I didn't have them saved, it kind of deleted a lot of that stuff. I don't have access to that. At least I don't think that there's a way to get access of it. If anybody knows, let me know. But we did have that one of that out in front of our house, that mysterious shadow that almost looked like soldiers moving, but ironically, when a car came or something, it looked like they took off behind the bushes. I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff from that house. It's just that I don't know.
Still early on my side of the map. Wide awake here, but definitely head to bed if you're exhausted.
I'm okay right now. I've been trying, and I probably shouldn't do it, but because of my wheezing and coughing and that, I try to stay up and get myself as tired as I possibly can get myself. And I've been trying to stay up 11:30, 12 o'clock. And I get so tired that I hope that when I just go up to bed and I lay down, I fall asleep.
I'll have to save the rest of this for tomorrow.
It's rich. It is rich, but it is good. So I've been kind of doing that, and it's been working for me. And I have been breathing better at night. But every night when I go to bed, though, I do put a ton of Vicks on my chest, and that seems to open up my bronchioles a lot. So that has been helping a lot. But the coughing is still irritating. What drives me crazy is the wheezing when I get that, because that, like, I'll literally hear myself wheezing. It gets that loud. But thank goodness in this last so many days, it's been ceasing.
For me, it's been my nose. I'll hear my nose whistle at night, and it drives me nuts. And then I try to sleep with my mouth open, but I don't like doing that because then you get all the air in there, and either you get a really bad coughing spell, or your throat is so dry and your mouth is so dry that you feel like you need water. And
my nose does a weird thing. Like, I get that whistling in my nose, but the funny thing about it is my nose will make a sound almost like a voice. And it freaks me out because, like, last night, I swear I heard somebody say, "Mama, Mama." And I'm there like, what the? And I'm like, and I caught my right nostril. The sound that came out made it sound like it was saying "Mama." And I'm there like, it freaks me out because whistling and that's bad enough. But when you're hearing something coming out of your body, your nose sounding like talking, you're like bad enough with everything that's going on in this house as it is. And you're like,
demons trying to escape through your snout.
Oh, I caught the other night. I wanted to say, and we're trying to debunk it, but we don't know how. I went and got our Ring camera from the one on top of my refrigerator facing towards our double doors over there, because I put that on during the day, and then at night I've been moving it to where that crock pot that hit me in the nose, the lid, I put it on that shelf there. So if any activity goes on in that hallway, that we will catch it. Well, I moved it from the refrigerator to that stand, and my thumb was covering over part of the lens. But when I pulled my thumb away and placed it on, this real weird thing was captured on it. Now, if everybody knows dust will kind of just float. It just goes every which way. when I put that thing down, the second I put it down, there was like, you could see particles of dust, but you see like a big swirl. Like it started real big and then it went smaller and smaller, like a funnel towards the direction of that hallway. And we're looking at this and we're there, like, it was like misty. We're like, okay, first dust, but dust wouldn't swirl like that unless there was some kind of a like when our furnace kicks in, if the radiator was underneath it and it kicked up, and that could have done it. But there's no vent there or anything, and the furnace wasn't running. But it's like it. You can see some dust particles, but then you see that misty swirl, and it's almost like, I don't want to say that it's paranormal, but it's almost like whatever was there, like said, "Oh shit, she's putting up a camera," and swirled and went down, like heading in the direction of that hallway. It's just like real freaky. I just saw it. Yeah, like I said, the whistling is one thing, but it's just like, I'm gonna have to ask Tom if he's heard my nose doing that. So that's yeah. It was like,
it was weird. I can probably,
if it was just dust, that would have been okay. Even if it's swirl, not be. But it was, you could see some dust particles that looked like. But then there was like a swirly mist that was. It's just the weirdest thing that you could ever see, and it kind of like it's freaky. So
oh damn.
I think it's Devo.
Damn it,
I
Mom.
wonder if I could. Let me see. I don't know if I can pull it up, if it would show on here or not. But it was just, and mind you, if I pull up this video, the hallway where that, it still has boxes and everything in that there, so it looks junky.
See if I can.
Oh, you got it. But so don't mind like the mess that you see,
I was
because
gonna try to pull it up on here, that way they could see it better.
but I thought I was up here on. I thought I was in here up there. I thought it was up in here somewhere.
Hold on. Hold on, guys.
Hold on, my friend. I think if you type in Facebook, my Facebook account should automatically show up.
Nope.
It shouldn't. Try baby doll. No. Or try try email.
Just type in your number, that way it'll, well, never mind, because you still have to type in the code. You still have to type in the password. Okay, well, we're gonna try to do it this way.
Now that's my finger blocking it out. And then see that swirl? So see that swirl? Like, you can see the little bit particles of dust in there, but you see like that swirl, and it was big, and then it went down, and it was like that right in that direction where we hear the growl and the weird noises, and like she said, the house. See, even like, did you ever see dust doing that, guys? I mean, be honest, because we're trying to debunk it.
Because she sent me that video, like, it was, I think, almost as soon as I went over to the apartment for the night, and she sent me that video, and I was like, what? And I was like, even if it was dust, why did it
swirl. And then I said, well, okay, if our furnace kicks in and there was one of the vents like on the floor and it picked up, maybe that would have caused it to swirl. But okay, that would have been dust, but there was like that mist that was in with the dust. But there's no vent there on the floor anyhow. There's no register on the floor. And the furnace wasn't kicked in at that time. So like I can understand the little dust particles, but the white misty swirling is what really is boggling my mind. So you guys have any ideas, any clue? Abby Chase right away said dust. And they're like, okay, I would agree at first, but dust doesn't swirl. And even I showed Tom, and Tom says that's not dust. You can see dust particles in it, but it's that misty. So
I burn incense a lot, and it swirls like that when I have my little fan on.
But yeah, see, and there was no incense. There was nothing there that would have caused a mist. There was literally, you can see where it was blacked out by my thumb when I was carrying it, and I put it up there, pulled my thumb away, and set so I could have it focused. And it was like the second I pulled my thumb away, because Chase said it could have been dust on the lens of the camera. Well, we use that camera all the time. There was no dust on it, and I do that same thing every night with the camera.
It wouldn't have been a swirl. It would have been like, if you took your finger away from it, it would be like a straight line of dust, and it would probably be a bunch of it just coming out of it.
Yeah.
But it went.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's almost, and I hate saying it, it's like, because I don't want to say it's paranormal, but I keep on saying that's the spot where we hear stuff. And it's like I put the camera down and said, oh shit, she caught me. And it swirled to go, because it went from the big swirl down to the little swirl. And it was just, I tried everything to recreate it. I got in, the other day, I put the thing down there and I kind of like blew top part of the shelf there to see like if I can make dust blow up, and I couldn't recreate it whatsoever. I put it even where I had it prior to that, is I had it on top of our microwave stand, and the microwave stand is right by where we have a register for the furnace. So when the furnace kicks in, any dust or anything in the register immediately blows up. And you can see dust in some of the videos there, like little, not a lot, like particles, but not once did it ever do like a swirl like that. So it's just, I can't say it's freaking me out, but it's totally boggling my mind because I don't know what that is and I can't recreate it. So I don't know.
I don't know what could have created that.
Yeah, we can't recreate it. So, but you guys,
Cactus, you're not wrong though either. It did look misty. It looked like there was a mist that was like at the beginning of it.
And that's what Tom said, because we have videos which you can see dust particles and that, especially if we move that and you put it down and happens to be in an area where I didn't dust. And you could see the dust particles floating all around. But you could see some little dust particles in it, but at the same time, that swirling was misty. It was a misty swirl, and it was big, and it's just freaky. So I don't know what to say about that, but I do have that video. I could actually send you that clip. Both of you ladies, that clip, and you can review it yourself. Like I said, please don't mind the house there because we have stuff that we're moving out to try to clear out that downstairs and yard sale and stuff like that. So we still have, and I'm going through all this stuff. That's how I come across that wonderful movie projector. So,
and by the way, since it hasn't been in here, nothing's happened.
Yeah, and see, I that's the perfect word for dust. It's usually chaotic, going every which way, and that's what dust does. And the only time I've ever seen a dust swirl was like if there was some kind of like a fan or wind machine or something like that that would have caused it. But then again, you would have seen the dust. Where did that mist come from with it?
Yeah.
That's the part that's really thrown me a loop is that misty that's around it. I don't know. So, but we're at the 1.5 hour mark, guys. I hope you guys had a good night tonight. I hope you brought your snacks and your coffee, and I hope you enjoyed the story. And I will be working on our show for Thursday because Gabriella said it's my turn for the research.
It is.
Ideas. Keep on sending them. Cactus, I will look into that thing that you sent me. I will check that out this weekend. So I will definitely consider your idea and see after when I watch that. Who knows, that could be a possible future show. So thank you so much for your help. Linda, I always enjoy everything you send and all the talks you have. So, but we will say adios amigos here tonight. And I will work on some stuff through tomorrow and have us ready on Thursday on Real Talk again. And then who knows, maybe we'll have another surprise one this week. And a lot of that depends on what Dylan's plans are and what Gabrielle is up to too. So, I mean, I could always come on by myself too, but it's always fun when I have one of my kids with me at least. So, but thank you guys. We're going to say that until next time, we will see you on the other side. Bye-bye. Love y'all, you guys. Thanks for loving us. Bye.
No, you didn't end it.
Cancel. I clicked on end. Bye.
You didn't do that